Oh, and this story not ends with they were a military and they were looking through the castle, and there was an army coming, and the king asked, "How many soldiers do that army has?" "Well, 1,003." 1,003. Why do you see this? Because there are three in the front and in the back around 1,000. And so today, I think it's 101. And why do I see this? Because at the front is one, and at the back, more than 100. Look at that. For the first time on Amazon Live, we have more than, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different countries in the screen, I think. So let's start this, and I'm gonna, but first of all, let's say hello to Amazon Live properly.
Hola.
Hello, Amazon Live.
Hello,
Hello,
Amazon.
Amazon.
This is epic. Today we're gonna blow the Amazon servers. So welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. Also, hello Amazon. Don't forget, let's make the housekeeping. Let me put this, because there are two things you should do when you go to Amazon Live. The first one is this: follow, and there's a follow button. I think it should be around my nose or something. Okay, you should hit my nose without breaking it to follow, or hit in, I think it's around the belly button of Nick. Where is the
That's a big target.
so to follow me, and don't forget as well to unmute. And now it's up to you, Harper. Okay, hit Harper strongly so you can unmute us. So thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who are watching us on Amazon Live or on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and whatever. Okay, so let's present this nice crew of the Wednesdays. I'm seeing, listening echo.
Echo.
There's a slight echo, yeah.
And echo, yes.
Even though I think I say amazing things, I don't want to listen them double. So I will start with the other responsible of this show, my partner in crime, Mr. Stephen Healy. If you don't mind to introduce yourself and to say where you are, and this, because people in Amazon are willing to know who you are.
Okay, thank you, Marco, and thank you for hosting this show on Amazon. And it's great to be here. I'm Steve. I'm from Wiltshire in England, and I'm a live broadcaster. That's what I do. Today, though, I've actually been delivering leaflets, political leaflets. We have an election tomorrow, and just see how it goes. I enjoy live video. I do shows every day of the week, and I enjoy being on this show on Wednesday because everybody gets together and has fun. So that's me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Stephen. And let's bring the next in the row, Maria. I just met a girl named Maria.
Watch out, I may decide to sing later on this morning, but thank you, Marco, and thank you, everyone else. It's a pleasure. I'm Maria Recruit from Ontario, Canada, Niagara Falls. Beautiful weather down here, lots of trees blooming and flowers blooming. So lovely to be here with you. And thank you, Marco. I'm going to enjoy myself today very much. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And the next one, it's the Mr. Alpha Dog.
Okay, Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Jim Ziegler. I don't know exactly what I do. I'm a professional speaker. I'm a magazine columnist. I'm a blogger. I'm loving life and love this group. Thank you for having me, Marco.
Okay, you're welcome. And we have the newcomer. Is the next Karen. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen Glasser, and this is my first time. I'm a virgin. I
like a virgin on Amazon Live for the first time.
All right. I am a live streamer. I want to thank Stephen for inviting me to the party today. I love parties. I've been live streaming since the early 90s. I have 3 shows that I'm doing currently. One's called Karen Glasser Live. How original. One is called Once Upon a Storytime Live. It's a children's show. And we just debuted a new show called Uncorked. You can take your own definition for that. It's called Uncorked. And I'm thrilled to be here.
Perfect. And we have here our third element, the third person who joined this show from the hot Arizona, the even hotter Harper Peterson.
Good morning, everybody. At least good morning from Arizona, the American desert. Yes, it is a little warm here. My name is Harper, and I've been live streaming for about 6 years or so. I live stream on everything. So happy to be here on Amazon Live. Thank you, Marco.
You're welcome. And now from the sweet Belgium, the even sweeter Chris.
Hello everyone, I am Chris. I'm a care teacher in Belgium at a vocational school. And I like live streaming enormously, but I'm new. It's Stephen who has learned me to do all that. And I like it very much.
Perfect. And now let's head to Scotland, to the Highlanders from Scotland. Hello, Peter Stewart.
Hello, and hello, Amazon Live. My name's Peter Stewart, and I'm a small business owner. I've got a pest control business, or in American, they would say it's an exterminator business. I'm also a part-time singer. I do Frank Sinatra, etc. And I've been doing live streaming for approximately 5 years, along with Stephen Healy. We've got a show that I participate in, and that's called Blabbing for Britain. For my pest control industry, I've also got a group where I give live training, so we can go on learning through this. And in the future, I will be using it to sell my pest control services. Does Amazon do that? Back to you.
And the last but not the least, the man who his nickname is actually named Nick.
yeah. Old Nick will be the phrase. A bit of a devil in me today. I'm Nick Wood. I live in sunny Hampshire in the UK. I'm a digital marketer, affiliate marketer, video marketer, live streamer, all-round good egg, and nice chap.
Absolutely.
There you are.
So let's get back to this layout, because on the other the one who gets in the bottom, it's with a star in the face, and this could be confusing. So let's start with the recommendation. I asked to each of these amazing guests some recommendations: books, movies, and music albums. randomly. I'm gonna pick, and the person who pick it, who choose that, will raise his hand or her hand, and we'll talk about the shoes. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And we have another British man here. Hello, Howard. How are you, my friend? So, who shoes? I think it was Chris. Never split the difference.
That was me. Never Split the Difference is a life-changing book. It's a book by Chris Voss, and that's an author and CEO of the Black Swan Company. He's also a former FBI lead international hostage negotiator. And it has a completely different tips for negotiating. So you can have the whole result because you can't split persons in two. You can have the whole result, everything you want, when you use tactical empathy and mirroring and labeling. That are the three great things he uses, and it's really perfect.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
life-changing for me. And everybody can use that, so professional as private.
Perfect, Chris. And I think the next one is yours as well. The movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a special thing. I don't like movies at all. So
Oh
I
my
had
God.
to search what I could say. There is another movie that I have really seen for the children of my sister that I will say later. But I am a fan of Queen. And so I have seen the trailer of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. And it was really a good thing from how this young singer and actor could play Freddie Mercury, who is a genius, a musical genius. And so I think that people will like that. He has also an Oscar, I thought, and there are people who are enthusiastic and others who aren't. But that can be very interesting to see what you think about that.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes, Stephen.
Thank you. I love the movie because, first of all, you've got the Queen music. You can't go far wrong. I mean, they've got a back catalogue, which is they just need a few bars and you're singing away, or sort of. The other thing was, as you said, the actor playing the lead role was absolutely brilliant, and his singing was good. It was, and the story that it told is one of the best of British music, and how you can come from nowhere to actually become a superstar. And it was so, for the story, for the music, for the acting, brilliant film.
Absolutely. And I have to mention this. Hopefully, some of you didn't feel the movie field, because otherwise we didn't have a room for all the time for the people. Because I can only have up to 40 articles in my carousel, and we 6 by 9 it's more than 40. So thankfully. So let's keep it rolling. Tapestry. Who chose Tapestry?
That was
Karen.
me. When I was in high school, that was the album. And back then we had albums, right? LPs. And I think I must have played that CD, the album over and over and over again. Carole King, I think, was one of the masters in the music industry. She's written so many beautiful songs, not just the ones that she's performed, but for other artists. So that is just an album that I love. I actually have the LP sitting in a box somewhere in a cover, which I understand if they're in good condition, they're actually worth quite a bit of money, but I'm not going to sell it. That brings back so many memories from graduating high school. It's that far back. So I love it.
Okay, we have a newcomer in the background, but unfortunately, Karinda didn't send his recommendation, so he just have to applaud. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Brenda.
And,
So the next
Hi.
item in the carousel, Stand By Me. Chris.
and that's from me too. That's a new thing. It will be released end of May, and that's from Matt and Savannah Shaw in the USA. That are people who are accidentally entering the music industry because Savannah was in a choir and she was singing there, but because of COVID, that couldn't be more. And so she entered on Instagram, and she was very shy. She asked her dad to sing with her together, and that film is going viral. And from then on, they have success. They are really boosting with that, and this is their third record. And for me, it's my morning ritual. I have the first record of them, and that's the thing I play every morning. So I like this music, and I have ordered a new one too.
Perfect. It's always good to know new musics and new groups,
Yes.
because that's how we evolve and we learn. And so let's bring to this Miracle Morning.
That would be me. Hal Elrod. Hal Elrod is somebody that I've actually had on my show. I've interviewed him. He has several books, lots of books called The Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs, The Miracle Morning for Real Estate Professionals, and he goes on and on. But I like the first one. It's basically 5 steps that you do every morning. I get up at an incredibly early time, 3 in the morning. And what I do, it's not on purpose. It's just, that's what I do. And so I do these 5 things. It's journaling, and it's meditation, and it's exercise. Well, maybe I don't do the exercise. Maybe that's not something I do at 3 in the morning, but it's a great way to start your day. And his story is pretty amazing. He's a cancer survivor, and he has actually a movie that just came out called The Miracle Morning. So there was a movie written around this book. And I really encourage people, if you're looking for a way to start your morning or your afternoon or your evening, get yourself into a system, into a structure, for lack of a better word. And it makes a huge, huge difference. I just love this guy.
Karen, are you sure that you're not an European living in the wrong side of the pond?
It's entirely possible. I like to say that I'm done with my work at 9 a.m. Everyone else is just getting up, and I have just already spent an entire day. So maybe I should be in Europe, and I'm on my way when they'll let me get on a plane.
Can I just echo that, Karen, as well? Because I read it a few years ago, and it really is a brilliant book. And yeah, I'm like you. Yeah, journaling, gratitude in the morning, setting your intentions, exercise, no chance. But no, the rest of it, absolutely.
So,
it's great.
I think the next one is from Mr. Stephen Healy, the legend, the best of Mr. Bob Marley.
Right, there is a backstory to this. Cornwall is a beautiful part of the UK, and it's a place to visit when you're over here. And we used to go on holiday down to Cornwall. We drove the way from Manchester down to Cornwall. It's about a 10-hour drive. And during the course of the week, we went driving around the country lanes, visiting different places, like King Arthur's Castle, and Tintagel, everywhere around there. We were in the car. It's beautiful English sunny weather in July. The roof on the car was down, and Bob Marley was playing. My 2 sons were in the back. My wife was next to me, and we drove all around the Cornwall countryside listening to Bob Marley. Now, the success of this is that both my sons are now a little bit older. We're a little bit later, and one's in Australia, one's in the UK. But they have on their playlist Bob Marley, which is amazing considering that he wasn't with us when they were born. So, but what's not to love about the tracks that are actually on the album itself? I mean, I'll just name a few of them. No Woman, No Cry, Buffalo Soldier, Exodus, Jamming, I Shoot
Buffalo
the Sheriff,
Soldier.
the original. It's just a classic album, and you cannot but be happy when you're actually listening to it because it's so infectious.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing it. And the next one, I think it's again Miss Chris, Harry Potter.
Yes, that's
Don't make
the
us
only
disappear,
film
please.
that I have seen, and that was for the children of my sister. I like it very much because it's a fantasy world and it's really lovely for children. And you have also very spectacular scenes in that. Things you couldn't imagine that they can do such a thing. So cinematic, it's also very good done. And what I really like is the casting of the three children. They are very amusing. I think they couldn't find better children to do that. For the rest, it's also a thing that I use now because I am learning English better money than I had. And one of the things you can do is listen to the audiobook, read the real book so you can see how things are in writing. And you can, when you have seen the film, you know the result of, what they've said. So you don't have every word to searching in such a thing in a dictionary, because it goes smoothly. And therefore, Harry Potter.
Perfect. There's something about Harry Potter. I think I already mentioned in a former show that there's a kind of a legend, I don't know if it's true, that she started writing down Harry Potter in Oporto. And the other thing, and this could be true, because if you visit a bookstore in Oporto called Livraria Lelo, you will see the scenarios of Harry Potter. Just type on Amazon, oh my God, on Google, Livraria Lelo with 2 L's in the middle. Okay, then I can share. I will send it in the chat.
Yeah, my connection with Harry Potter is down to the fact I live in Wiltshire, near to Laycock Abbey, and Laycock Abbey was where a lot of Harry Potter was actually filmed, and they have been donated by the film company a cauldron, which appeared in the movies, and you can actually go and visit the Abbey, and you can see the cauldron that was used in the film.
Perfect, perfect. And who wants to save Mona Lisa? Because someone saving Mona Lisa.
Okay. We all know the Mona Lisa, and some of us hopefully have been fortunate to actually go and see it. And isn't it small? Now, having said that, the book Saving Mona Lisa is a factual book, and it's all about what happened in the period from 1939 to 1945. Now, I'd never thought about this, and I thought basically that all the art in the Louvre would actually be moved down into the basement and left there until the end of the war. But there was a little problem, that the Louvre could be bombed. It could be bombed by the Germans or by the British, depending on the circumstances. So the management of the museum decided that what they would do is to send all the artworks out to country houses. And that was a gargantuan task for them to undertake. But all the manor houses throughout France, especially in the Loire Valley, the art was taken by volunteers driving trucks that shouldn't have really got where they were supposed to go, and then stored during the war years from 1940 to 44. It was actually stored not at the Louvre. Mona Lisa lived in 6 different houses in the war years, and so did everything that we see in the Louvre today was transported. The Louvre was virtually empty. If it was too heavy, they didn't move it, but if it could be moved, then it was packed and then shipped off from one manor house to another manor house. And you get not only in the sense of what great lengths they went to protect the artworks of the Louvre, but also a sense of French life during that period. So it's a great historical book. I came across it, like most things, by accident. I enjoyed reading it. I only just finished reading it, which is why it made it onto my current list. But if you do want to know more about French art, I mean, the Germans, and my partner is German, so there's no war feelings here. But the Germans decided that they would repatriate all the German art. Yeah, if it was in the Louvre and it was German, then it had to go back to Germany, and they did not succeed. And that's all down to the gentleman who was actually running the museum at the time. And as I say, it's a fascinating story. Thank you, Marco.
You're welcome. And now I think it's time to Nick, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, yes, Alexandre Dumas. One of my favorite books. He wrote also The Three Musketeers and many books he wrote. But the best one, The Count of Monte Cristo, it is not for the light-hearted. It is a big, meaty tome. But my goodness, you've got everything. You've got the poor hero thrown in jail. Someone else wants to marry his girlfriend. He stays there. He escapes. He then becomes rich. He has a fortune. And then he wreaks a terrible revenge on all those who've crossed him, including his wife. Or would have been wife. But a great book. And it's one of those ones that I was lucky. I was able to read it all in one go. I was on holiday in Australia for about 5 weeks, and I would have never have got through it all had it not been for mucking around on beaches and surfing and then resting. But it was my favorite book by far. It just had everything: drugs, sex, no rock and roll, but so it didn't have everything.
No.
But I would certainly recommend it. A little bit before the rock and roll era, but fantastic. And also it's very descriptive, so you get a sense of the period where it was set as well. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Couldn't recommend it enough.
Well, I think they don't have social media in the book, so. And by the way, thank you so much, Michael's favorite things, for your. Oh, we have another live streamer on Amazon. Please, Michael, it's a pleasure to have you here. Share the link to your store so people can follow you, okay, as well. And if you want to share what your channel about, your store, please drop it in the chat. Okay, so let's get to the list, which is the next one. I think it's Hotel California.
That's me. Oh my God, the Eagles. What can you say about the Eagles? The Eagles,
they fly.
They fly. I mean, the Eagles, what do they say till hell freezes over? They actually have an album called that because they all got back together. My favorite song, though, from that album is Life in the Fast Lane. There is something about that from back in the day when I was still younger, where that just was my story. Life in the fast lane. I was doing things. I was moving fast. I was trying things. And that epitomizes my growing up back in the day. And the other one is the actual theme, the Hotel California, which is supposedly Woodview Calabasas Hospital, which is in California. My husband actually worked there for years and years and years. And the big thing is that the song was written based upon one of the singer's wives being in the hospital. I don't know which wife, I don't know which singer, none of that, but it's an amazing album. If you haven't listened to anything Eagles, you need to go listen to Eagles. It literally tells the story of life, I think. It's an amazing.
It actually gave us the Restream team motto, which is, and we should have told you this before, Karen, you can join, but you can never leave.
There.
Once you're part of the Restream team, that's it.
And you've still to pay your bill.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's great.
And the next, it's one day later, but May the 5th be with you. Who was the Star Wars person?
Oh, yeah, that was me, Marco. Yeah, the Star Wars. I remember queuing up. The queue went round the cinema twice. to see Star Wars when it came out, and yeah, we were blown away as young kids. And then the most beautiful thing was that they just kept making them, and it's one of those things that I think, you know, it was so revolutionary in its day, and the effects were so amazing that you know, it then spurned this great genre of space movies. And of course, you know, they keep making them even now. Now Disney's got the franchise. It's huge, so you can get all sorts. But those first three were just pure genius. I don't think they could ever be bettered, no matter how hard they try. But having said that, even the most recent ones I still watch, and I still like them because they've still got R2-D2 and old family favorites, C-3PO. It's like, I grew up with those. You know, they're now in their 50s, probably in their 60s because they were older than me at the time. So yeah, these are very old robots still being seen on the films, and beautiful. If you like sci-fi, it's your go-to sci-fi movie.
Well, isn't Mandalorian the show now? Isn't that based on? And that's a regular serial, you know, TV show. So it just continues like ad nauseum. It continues forever.
It is. And actually just down the road from us here, they're going to be shooting Obi-Wan. They built the set. So Ewan McGregor has got a nice little gig lined up for the next few years with Obi-Wan, the series. What's not to love about Obi-Wan Kenobi? My goodness.
Yeah, as a kid, I grew up with Star Wars as well. I mean, my older sister and I, we got dropped off like early on a Saturday morning, and back then you can just like go into a movie theater and then you sit there and you just don't leave and you watch the movie over and over and over. They didn't care. But we'd go in, we'd buy our tickets. She would go to Greece, and I went to Star Wars, and we just stayed in there all day long until our dad picked us up that night. And so I saw Star Wars over and over and over. I think I saw it 31 times while it was in theater. Of course, it was like in theater for like, I swear almost a year. But yeah, I mean, I grew up on that stuff, and it was just one of those, it was that sci-fi escape. And it was just, you could, from the start, you can identify with the characters, and it was amazing. And oddly enough, my grandson now, who's turning 4 next month, loves The Mandalorian. He only watches like 2 episodes because he likes just the certain things. So my daughter's like, he only watches episode this and episode this, and I'm like, I've never seen it, so I have to watch it, you know, so I can relate to it. But it's kind of funny that, you know, here he is, you know, 2 generations later, and it's still a Star Wars thing. So yeah, I can totally relate, Nick.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like all great movies, you've just got a massive good versus evil plot. And you don't get more evil than Darth Vader, and more good than lovely Luke. I mean, you know.
Skywalker.
And a lot of times it's not good always wins. You know, sometimes the evil wins, which is a good lesson in life. So, but yeah, that was going to be one of my movies, but I was like, oh, somebody picked it, so I had to pick.
Oh,
I don't even know what my second pick was.
Came late.
So.
They finally killed off Han Solo. I mean, you know, he was, you know, Harrison Ford came over the walking device.
Well, if you know the background after the first 3, him and George, Harrison Ford and Lucas did not have a good relationship, and so he was Harrison Ford was really against ever even being referred to by fans as Han Solo. It was one of those he walked away from it, and it was like, nope, they had bitter feelings against each other. So the fact that he came back to do that one episode, that movie, was amazing. I don't know what in the world he would have had to have agreed to, but him and George Lucas came up to a fascinating thing for him to even do it. But yeah, it was amazing. So
I do have one last piece of trivia about it, if I very quickly.
Okay,
yeah, the guy that played, the one that played Obi-Wan Kenobi, Sir Alec Guinness, he didn't think it was going to do very good, so he just decided. He said, "Oh look, you know, just give me a share." He got 4%. Wow. Of one of the biggest grossing films of its day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's shared the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust? I think it's Peter. Am I wrong?
No, that was me again. That's me again, Marco.
You okay? Okay.
Yeah. big David Bowie fan back in the day,
Yes, absolutely.
and yeah, this is just an iconic album of 1970s glam rock. Anything went. I was a little bit before my time, in fairness, but even I think probably about 10 years later, all of us at school, it was a must listen to LP, and it was.
I played all that on the radio when I was a DJ when it was current hits.
You don't look old enough, Jim.
I'm 74, big guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a. I do the music show on Fridays. I do the music show on Fridays, and one of my tags is I was there in the 60s, which is totally true. I was there when all the music was released.
I met most of the artists of the 60s and the 70s because I was a nationally known DJ, and I got to meet a lot of the stars of the era. You know,
Who was your favorite, Jim?
the Beatles.
We will be talking about the Beatles in a while. So, but before that, we need to awaken the giant within with Mr. Stephen Healy.
Do you want the long or the short version? Short version. Right. Okay. It was okay. Slightly short version. I was married for 24 years. We met at school, and in 1999, we had 2 sons, as I said earlier. And I was sat at Doreen's side. She was my best friend. As I say, we've been together for 24 years. We enjoy each other's company. She was intelligent. She was hardworking. She was a great mum. She was everything. And I was at the hospice. And Doreen had a brain tumor. And unfortunately, it was inoperable. And she left us. And for the next 2 years, I went walkabout. I totally lost the plot. I was helped by friends and everything. But this one book, I again bought it by accident. I read this book and I gradually rebuilt my life following what Anthony says in the book. So that's why it's a very important book to me. It's one that brought me back from a very dark place, and I'm grateful. I mean, many people have read the book and learned from it and learned how to conduct their lives and how to improve their lives and how to become part of other people's lives. And I'm just grateful that that one book made the difference.
Perfect. Very good. And the next one is The Scarlet Inheritance.
Oh yeah, that's me again, Marco.
Yeah, oh my God!
I know. I'm getting all my favorite books out now. This is Robert Ludlum. Probably best known for the Bourne series of books and films, but he's written lots of books, and this was the very first one that I read of his, and he's always were my go-to books on holiday as well before the Count of Monte Cristo, and they are all very, very similar. So there's always a massive plot twist every other chapter almost. But the Scarlatti Inheritance, and it's a while since I read it, but basically it's it starts off set off in World War II, and a high-ranking Nazi general is potentially going to defect to the States, but in order to do that, they would release this file called the Scarlatti Inheritance, and then the rest of the book pretty much talks about how that all started. So this Scarlatti Inheritance would ruin lots of industrialists and lots of people's lives. So basically, I can't really spoil the plot because it's so convoluted, but basically it goes to there's a corrupt American soldier, and he's got a billionaire mother, as I recall, and it is so convoluted. But I remember reading it when I could have only been about 16, 17, and I read it several times in my 20s. I just thought it was such a good book, such a great read, and then I read most of his books. I think all of his books after that, and they are pretty much all on the same theme. A lot of punching and twisting and turning, if you like that sort of thing.
And the next one is Eagles Live by Eagles. Mr. Harper.
That would be me. I know that Karen picked the Eagles Hotel California, but I was like, you know what? I picked a different album, but the Eagles Live one, it's a double album. It has, in my opinion, all of their songs are great, but it has the top songs. My mom and my stepdad used to play this all the time, really loud in the house, and so not that I had a problem with it. And it just became music that I could totally relate to as I became an adult, and you kind of get a really good understanding of the music. But Karen already mentioned about about the Eagles and stuff, so I'll make this short. So, but yeah, I mean, it's you ever want an album that's got a lot of great music from the Eagles? It's the Eagles Live. It looks like a traveling. What do you call those little chests or whatever those little boxes are? But yeah,
Perfect.
If you knew anything about the Eagles' lives, it frightens me that Joe Walsh is a pilot.
Well, Harper mentioned Karen, and Karen said that she awakes at 3 a.m. But Jim,
Yes.
it would be very hard to wake at 3 a.m. if you have a hard day's night, right?
A hard day's night. Oh, you mentioned that. I'm a Beatles collector. Everybody knows that I collect Beatles. I've got an extensive Beatles collection. And I purchased this on Amazon, the Beatles Collector's Edition of Hard Day's Night, the movie, on DVD. And black and white, the Beatles introduction. I was 18 years old at the time, and I have extensive Beatles memorabilia collection, but it's one of my favorite pieces. And like I said, it's available on Amazon. I got it on Amazon.
Very good, very good. And one of the things I think Beatles did was they were in their way. And I think there was another amazing singer who had his own way, right, Mr. Peter?
Yeah. My Way, the best of Frank Sinatra. And do you know what? For as long as that song's been going, and the rest of the songs, they never go away. Let me tell you why. If you sit and lie there and you put on your Alexa and you tell it to play songs, you can drift off to sleep, set it to what you want it. You just lie there and listen away. Now, the other side of it is, when I finish gigs, when I'm live singing, and if a pub's packed, I try to finish with My Way, especially if they're all drunk. And no matter what age they're in, from the youngest to the oldest, that pub is screaming, especially when they say more. And I do it for them again, yes. I help them that. So, and if you notice that all the singers, Rod Stewart, Michael Bublé, all these sort of people, they go back to singing that type of music. Just about every one of them, because that's what they were brought up on. So kids, if you haven't really listened to all these songs, buy a copy today. Amazon, get in there. There you go.
And one of the amazing things about music is that it has amazing instruments, and sometimes some of them are magical, like, for instance, a magic flute. Right, Maria?
Yes, thank you. For those who may not know it, I'm a classically trained singer. I studied at the Conservatory of Music in Rome and in Spain, and that was one of my favorite songs. And I was able to, it was made for coloratura soprano by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And I was able to sing that song, and that's a very, very, very high note. So, of course, I couldn't do that now, Mark, or anyone else, but I certainly did it when I was in my teens and in my 20s. I was accepted by the Conservatorio di Santa Cecilia in Rome, Italy, and I was there for 8 years, and then I went to a studio de canto in Madrid, Spain. Wonderful years in Europe. So, Marco, I understand your love of Europe. I loved Europe very, very much when I was there. And it brings fond memories of how differently my life went forward, because I grew up at home. My parents were Europeans and I was born in Canada. I grew up with all kinds of beautiful singers, a lot of opera, classical music, Frank Sinatra, you name it. I was introduced through my parents, and my parents loved music too, and I still love music. But it's interesting, as I've gotten older, I listen to less and less music, and I read more and more instead. But certainly brought very fond memories. So if someone wants to learn a little bit more about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, certainly he wrote that, and he was going into the life of the Masonics. He was a Mason. And he was kind of going into what was going on with the Masons at that time to be more enlightened. And actually, the person who wrote the story also was one of the Masons. So it was just kind of interesting, historically speaking, about that opera. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And let's move a little bit to the West, because I think in the West we find amazing stories. What do you think about it, Maria?
Amazing stories? Yes,
Because
we have
the West Side Story.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Again, it was a musical. Excuse me, sorry. I have allergies, and this is the time of year, so I apologize. A West Side Story. Oh, my goodness. I was 13 years old when I went to the movies with my mother, my brothers and sisters, and I fell in love with the protagonist, that wonderful, good-looking man, and, of course, the music. So, of course, I would go into music, too. So, being a musician, I just fell in love with the musical. It's always stayed with me. It's a very sad story, but it's so contemporary. I mean, things are like that are happening all over the world. So if someone really wants to see a classical, American classic, absolutely West Side Story is the place to go.
Perfect. And let's next, how to win friends
and influence people.
Okay.
Right.
It's easy. A live show on Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Right.
London and Lisbon time.
And they stay.
Right. Okay. Let's get going. I'm going to tell you about this book.
Just one question. Hello, Estefania. Welcome. And I think she's asking you, Maria, if you really play an instrument.
Yes. Besides my bass, yes, the piano and organ. Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's on the fiddle. I always thought she was a crook.
Stefania says that she plays French horn.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm also an instrument player. I'm perfect by ringing doorbells.
Okay. I love your sense of humor, Marco. Good work. I like that. That was unexpected.
More cowbell.
Yeah.
So Peter, back to Peter. Sorry, Peter. Sorry.
A very old book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So what I'm going to first warn you about this book is don't read it the way I looked into it, because I've no friends. I'm joking, folks. Right.
Nobody likes me.
This is a book that has served me very well over the years. Although I'm actually a shy person, I'm not when it goes to business. I will go and I will introduce myself to people that I don't know sitting in cafes. And I'll tell you what, if you're wearing a badge, you're wearing it for a reason. Do you know what that reason might be? Anybody? It's so I can come up and say, oh, that's a nice badge. What is it? Oh, that's such and such. Oh, really? My name's Peter. How do you do? Tell me more about that place or that club or what you're doing. Because I wear a little regimental badge and I see people looking at it, but they're too scared to say anything. So I help them out. I will say, notice you're looking at my badge. Do you know what it is? And then it breaks the ice. And that one day got me a £35,000 order because the guy was a soldier too, and we gelled how to win friends and influence them. And I have built up a lot of friendships like this by using these techniques, and I just love visiting cafes, and it's nothing for me to go up to people and have a chat with them. Go buy the book. It's on Amazon.
I'm just learning.
Am I doing okay for the sales, Marco?
But both yourself and Jim have done the marketing side of this, which is basically why we're here to help Marco. I think we should all have a go at it on our, not necessarily now, but we should all try helping Marco.
So let's see. There's a person here who there are two persons who like particular about cars. One has a black T-shirt, and he also likes purpose-driven. Harper.
Yeah, the book by Rick Warren, The Purpose-Driven Life, I think is one of those, as an adult, I think most of us, at least here in the States, you get to a certain age or a certain part of your life where you wonder, it's like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Type thing. And I think this isn't an ordinary book. This is actually an interactive book, because it wants you, it's almost like not really like a journal, but it's one of those, it's interactive. It wants you to do some things, write this down. And then it's, you really have to, as you're reading it, you look at how your life is going and if it's actually going to where in the direction that you want. And so I've read this book 3 times over my life, and because I've gotten into what I like to call a rut, and I can't seem to get myself out, and I feel like I'm not going in the direction that I want to. So I open this book and I'll read it. I'll do the same things. I didn't write in the book, so I wrote it down on paper. So that way, when I read the book, it's a fresh start. I'm not looking at, okay, yeah, that's the same. I actually have to think about it and do it. So this is definitely a great book. If you kind of wonder, what's going on in my life, and am I doing things right? But yeah, Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren.
Perfect. And let's get back to the music and with Mr. Jim. So a little bit about the Beatles anthology.
Oh.
You're going to have to give them a time frame.
And you can buy this on Amazon. Peter, did you know that?
Yeah,
it's the Beatles anthology. It's everything anyone could know about the Beatles. I mean, if you are a Beatles collector, as I am, and you got all this Beatles memorabilia sitting around the house, I mean, this is the definitive book about the Beatles. One of the greatest intellects of the 20th century, Mr. Ringo Starr, is featured in this.
He comes on like a dream.
Oh, yes.
Peaches and cream.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do you know any Beatles songs, Peter?
Yes.
Who are the Beatles?
I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand.
Oh, I'll tell you something. Yes.
I think they've made friends.
The Beatles anthology, yes.
And influencing others.
And you can also buy the Beatles anthology collector's edition. This is VHS, but also Amazon has it on DVD and VHS. all the music of the Beatles, even the off brand things with the outtakes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And
Let
by the
it be
way,
known. Let it be known.
Stefania, I don't know your name, the right way to say your name. If you're not following, please follow so you can catch the next shows. And now it's time for me because I deserve it as
Oh,
well.
Yay!
And I brought a Portuguese singer, Fado, of course. If I want to talk about something about music, about Portugal, I have to talk about Fado. We had this amazing star, rising star, one of the most amazing artists in the world on their time, Amália Rodrigues. Ok, Estefania, encantado de saludarte. And Marisa, it's kind of the new arrival. It's not the new arrival because he's on the field for a while, but he's kind of the second Amalia, and she's an amazing artist. And this particular, it's a CD, but it's as well a DVD, which I recommend to pick the DVD because he's a live show in Lisbon, close to that. I don't know if any one of you already were in Lisbon. I think no one, just me. Shame on you. Okay, go. Well, there's a particular place in Lisbon related to the Discovery Times because I don't know if you know it, but we were we still are a very small country, but we built an amazing empire in Africa and a little bit also in South America. Okay, we are the fifth idiom most speaked in the world for a country with only 10 million people. I think it's not bad. And this is an amazing concert. She's an amazing artist. She has that thing that usually we have the Portuguese soul. And if you watch this show, and there's a song called O Gente da Minha Terra, or People of My Land, which is an amazing, even though you don't understand Portuguese, I think, maybe, you will love this song, okay? I will put it, you can find it on YouTube for sure. I'm gonna write it down on the private chat, okay? So you can watch it later. And this is an amazing performance. It's something that I'm pretty sure that the people more sensitive, like Peter, for instance, you will get that chicken skin, okay? Because it's an amazing performance. But let's get back to we have Christina. Hello, Christina. Please, Christina. She's another amazing Amazon creator. Please, Christina, drop the link to your store in the chat. And if you can tell in a few lines what are your shows about, so people can understand what they can see in your shows. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you don't have the diversity of my show. When we talk about amazing people from almost everywhere, but you have a pretty good show as well. So thank you for tuning in, and if you don't mind, share the link to your channel as well, to your shop, so people can follow you. And if you're not following me already, please do that, because you will see, I think it's around Nick's nose, the button.
Smooth.
And also in the belly button of Peter. So let's keep. Okay, we are almost in time. I don't know about you. Maybe we can talk about a few recommendations, and if you don't mind, if you want, we can keep the conversation rolling in 15 days, because next week it will be at Steven's house, and I don't want to rule in Steven's house. Okay, so if you don't mind, for instance, those who didn't didn't talk about the recommendations. They can keep them in the sheet, okay,
Mhm.
and erase those who already were talked about.
Marco,
Okay.
can we recommend products other than music and books next time? There's other products on Amazon, huh?
Okay, what we can do in the private chat, we can recommend recommendations. Okay, what do you think? Kind of
Okay.
brainstorming. Okay, or I can create another sheet. Okay, on that, because instead of being back and forth with things, we already had that sheet. I can create another tab,
Mhm.
and you can suggest. Okay, I think we should talk about swimming pools, about dolls, whatever, about
Peter could do
knives.
the flip camera.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim.
Okay,
Jim
so-
probably got a yacht you can get
so-
off Amazon.
Okay, I'm gonna send the challenge here live because I like to do crazy things. Let's pretend. Okay, summer is coming, holidays and vacations are coming. So I want you to share, because this time I want to keep it a little bit shorter. 3 objects that you need to have when you go in vacations.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so next time we'll be talking about this. Estefania, I went to Amazon Live yesterday and the lady talked about hoof trimmers.
Excuse me.
Trimmers.
So, for those of you who you can keep watching the carousel, okay? And I'm sorry because it was too many things to talk about. So I'm gonna ask you, please, those who I've talked about this book. You can delete it from the list, okay? And then I'm gonna create another one with 3 things you truly have to have when you go on vacations. Is that okay? And we keep the conversation in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Sounds good.
So
Okay.
I
Yes.
will throw the word to Mr. Stephen Healy so he can wrap up our first very international live show.
You have been watching Marco Novo in Portugal with the Restream team, who are based around the world. Nick, say goodbye from the
Bye-bye.
UK. Maria from Canada. I get to wave 8 times. Harper from Arizona. Karen from San Diego. Jim from Georgia. Chris from Belgium. From Bonnie, Scotland, Peter.
Hi.
And from there's always one. From Wiltshire in England. And from Portugal, from around the world. Thanks for watching this amazing broadcast. We always enjoy getting together. It's a win because we've become good friends just by going live and enjoying each other's company. Until next week at my house in Wiltshire, near Stonehenge, take care and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.